Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Overview of the 9 Days. So it's a fascinating and tragic period in Klal Yisrael, the 3 weeks, 9 days, and it's the week of Tisha B'Av and Tisha B'Av. It's sad because we're mourning the Mikdash. It's also sad because we're so out of the loop. 2,000 years. How many of us can honestly say, yes, I really miss the Mikdash? It's not a simple thing. We miss Korbanos, we miss spritzing the dam onto the Mizbeach. Emotionally, how many of us miss that? We know that the Taryag mitzvot is incomplete, and therefore, even if in our heart we don't feel it, hopefully in our minds we understand there's a tremendous loss. We'll talk more about that in the next year. But from a halachic standpoint, what is the 3 weeks, 9 days in Tisha B'Av? Rav Soloveitchik actually put into halachic categories. The Brisker's Soloveitchik dynasty, of course, loves halachic categories, as we all should. And he said that we have 3 categories in halacha. We already have Shiva, we have Shloshim, Yud Beit Chodesh. A person loses a parent, they have 7 days of Shiva, that's most intense. And then we have 30 days of Shloshim, less intense. And then a year, 12 months. And it gets less and less as the time goes on because the emotional loss is so dramatic, and then it's not the same 3 months, 4 months later after it was the first few days, for most people at least. So the Rav says over here, it's the opposite. We build up, it's a crescendo building up the intensity of it as we get closer to Tisha B'Av, and therefore he says that the 3 weeks is like the 12 months. We don't have weddings in 12 months, we don't have weddings in the 3 weeks. Simchat Meri'ud, we don't have these friendly gatherings, and so he says that applies to 12 months. That is open to halach and yard. They should say the aleph in 12 months, and we should not do that in the time of the 3 weeks. Then we have more intensity with the Shavua, Shechavot, Tisha B'Av, of Ashkenazim, Rosh Chodesh Av. That's domeh, similar to Shloshim, the 30 days. We don't wash clothing and haircuts. It gets more intense for Chitzah Shel Ta'anug, washing ourselves. We don't do that either. And that's similar to the Shloshim, the 30 days of Avelut. And then finally, as we hone in on Tisha B'Av is like Shiva. So for the Rav, it's similar and the exact opposite, actually, to regular Avelut. It gets from super intense Shiva to Shloshim to Yud Beit Chodesh at 12 months. Here it's the opposite, building up and trying to intensify our feelings of mourning of Avelut for the Mikdash. We go from the 3 week level, which is 12 months, to the 30-day level, the 9 days, and then to Shiva itself. So someone might want to challenge, wait, look at the sources and the Torah and the Shulchan Aruch. Does it really match up with these 3 periods of the year, the 12 months, the 30 days, and Shiva? So certainly that can be analyzed and challenged and answered up. But this is how the Rav viewed it. Either way, if a person goes by the Rav and follows his psak, then that might be halacha l'maisa for him or her. But either way, in terms of analysis, it's a fascinating analysis. And one point that's certainly a take-home point is during this time of the year, we don't naturally feel, most of us don't naturally feel, I miss the Mikdash so much. It's so painful without the Mikdash. We do feel that way of our parent. Think about my father. It's 10 years already. Oh, I miss my father. What a hero in my life. I miss him. I have the same emotional loss to the Mikdash. I'll be honest, I don't. I never had the Mikdash, and that's it. When I go to Har Bayit and I see what's going on up there, the disgusting activities, the mosque, the Arabs playing ball up there, then I feel like this is sick. Then emotionally, I'm in pain over the Mikdash. But day to day, I wish I was, but I'm not the same way. But either way, the Rav's idea is a beautiful one. Whether one accepts the Psak, the Lamdas, that's a separate discussion. But the idea that we're building up to try to use the halachic system to intensify our feelings of loss and mourning of Avelut for the Mikdash, we certainly need that. And Yetz Hashem, by being in Avelut for the Mikdash, Yetz Hashem will give us cause to celebrate the Mikdash. Shalom.